Hello, City fans! The January transfer window is approaching, and Manchester City is already taking steps to address Rodri's serious injury. The club may invest up to $22 million in a new midfielder, and hot rumors are emerging about Adam Wharton from Crystal Palace as a top option to strengthen our squad in 2025. But before we dive into the updates, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. City is considering an alternative for Rodri with an investment of $22 million. The club plans to acquire a new midfielder during the January transfer window due to Rodri's injury. G-Sport reports that Adam Wharton from Crystal Palace is a potential target for 2025. Despite Rodri's importance in previous seasons, City believes they can manage without him for now. During the summer, the club evaluated several options to bolster the midfield, including Bruno Guimaraes from Newcastle, but plans were thwarted by delays in Calvin Phillips's departure. Furthermore, City managed to bring back Ilkay Gundogan from Barcelona, who is expected to play a significant role during this period. However, the club remains keen to add another midfielder, keeping Wharton in mind. Wharton transferred to Crystal Palace earlier this year for a fee that could rise to $22 million, coming from Blackburn Rovers. Palace, looking to build their team around the 20-year-old, is hesitant to let him go. However, City, along with Tottenham, is closely monitoring the situation. Rodri's prolonged absence may prompt the club to take action in January, especially after Alan Shearer praised Wharton as an exceptional player. City is also assessing Kevin De Bruyne's future, considering potential replacements such as Jamal Musiala from Bayern Munich. The player is in talks to renew his contract with Bayern, but could be a long-term option if available. City must also consider De Bruyne's evolving role, as a new deal may imply a pay cut. Meanwhile, Gundogan is expected to remain at the club, assisting young talents like 19-year-old Nico Orelli. Manchester City is reportedly in contention to sign Dutch international Xavi Simons from Paris Saint-Germain, while seeking a long-term replacement for Kevin De Bruyne. With De Bruyne nearing the final year of his contract and in the latter stages of his career, the Premier League champions are considering high-profile options to fill his role. Fans believe that replacing the iconic Belgian requires a substantial investment in an elite player who can make an immediate difference in Pep Guardiola's side. This has led to speculation about Bundesliga stars like Jamal Musiala from Bayern Munich and Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen, both seen as valuable targets for City. However, a new report from Bundesliga insider Christian Falk suggests that Simons is also a player of interest to City. Falk points out that Manchester City, along with Liverpool and Manchester United, is closely monitoring the young midfielder. Simons, who is impressed with his performances at RB Leipzig, could fit well into Guardiola's style at the Etihad Stadium. City hopes that current Dutch player Nathan Ake can influence a potential transfer for Simons, especially if they decide to formalize an offer. However, Ake is currently sidelined due to a hamstring injury sustained during the international break. Guardiola expects his return at the end of October, possibly in time to help the club achieve its transfer goals. Dear City fan, do you think Xavi Simons would be the ideal replacement for Kevin De Bruyne at Manchester City, or do you prefer another option like Jamal Musiala or Florian Wirtz? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Manchester City remains unbeaten in all competitions this season, having played 5 matches in the Premier League, the Community Shield Final, and their initial games in the Champions League and League Cup. Despite struggles with injuries and player availability, Pep Guardiola's side has managed to maintain exceptional performance. Injuries to key players like Oscar Bob, Kevin De Bruyne, and Nathan Ake have recently tested the squad's depth. Former City player Micah Richards expressed concerns over the prospect of Rodri's prolonged absence, having sustained a knee injury in a match against Arsenal. Discussing the situation on the show The Rest is Football, Richards highlighted Rodri's vital importance to the team. He stated, "He is outstanding. He is the best defensive midfielder in the world. His absence is a massive blow." He praised the decision to bring Gundogan back, although he acknowledged that City did not foresee Rodri's injury. Richards also commented that while Matheus Nunes, who arrived from Wolves, has talent, he has not yet fully adapted to City's system. Rodri's influence is undeniable. He controls the tempo of the game and keeps the team composed even under pressure. Last season, City lost 3 league matches, coinciding with the only ones Rodri did not play. Thus, his absence could be quite significant, which justifies Richards' concerns. City fan, what are your thoughts on Rodri's relevance to Manchester City? With his injury, can the team maintain the same level of performance? Leave your opinions in the comments below. Today, fans, we have information that could change the situation. It seems that Manchester City already has a name in mind to cover this concerning absence, and it's no ordinary player. We're talking about Joshua Kimmich, a true star from Bayern Munich and the German national team. Can you imagine Kimmich in City's midfield alongside De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva? That would be an impenetrable fortress for any opponent. Firstly, we cannot forget that Kimmich is already familiar with Pep Guardiola. In fact, Pep was the coach who helped shape the player he is today. Under Guardiola's guidance at Bayern, Kimmich truly excelled, showcasing his versatility by playing both as a defensive midfielder and as a right-back. And let's be honest, with Rodri's absence, Kimmich's ability to play in various positions would be a real asset for us. Another factor that makes this potential transfer even more intriguing is the uncertainty surrounding Kimmich's future at Bayern. His contract expires in June 2025, and so far there has been no renewal. This means Bayern could opt to sell him for a lower fee in January rather than risk losing the player for free later on. Therefore, fans, this could be our great opportunity to bring in a world-class player without having to spend a fortune. But what makes Kimmich the ideal signing for City? In addition to his extensive experience and leadership qualities, the German has played at the highest level in both the Bundesliga and the Champions League. At 29 years old, he still has much to offer and could quickly adapt to Guardiola's style of play, especially as they are already well acquainted. Not to mention, Kimmich is the kind of player who can elevate the performance of any team. This season, Kimmich has already played 8 matches for both Bayern and the German national team, scoring 1 goal and providing 2 assists. He is the type of athlete who not only defends effectively, but also knows how to advance with the ball, something essential for City's style of play. As we know, in Guardiola's system, defensive midfielders are not just there to stop plays. They also dictate the tempo of the team, distribute passes, and even join the attack. Kimmich perfectly fits this profile. And don't forget, fans, the January transfer window is generally not easy for major signings. However, with Rodri's injury and the urgent need to strengthen the squad, City may have to make a significant investment to bring in Kimmich. Will Bayern be open to negotiations? And more importantly, will Kimmich be willing to leave Germany to take on the challenge of the Premier League under a manager he already knows and respects? Another important question is how this transfer would affect the other players in the squad. Calvin Phillips, who arrived at the club with high expectations, has yet to establish himself in the team. Kimmich's arrival could be the motivation Phillips needs to improve his performance, or would we see a complete overhaul in midfield, with Kimmich taking on a central role and Phillips acting as an option? Regardless of how this unfolds, one thing is certain. City cannot afford to fail this season. The Premier League is more competitive than ever, and the Champions League is approaching its decisive stages. We cannot risk having a weakened midfield. Kimmich's arrival would bring the necessary security, both defensively and offensively, to maintain our dominance in England and abroad. So, fans, I want to know what you think. Do you believe Joshua Kimmich would be the perfect signing for City in January? Or do you think we already have players in the squad capable of filling the void left by Rodri? Leave your thoughts in the comments, as this debate is about to heat up. We've reached the end of another video. Thank you for staying updated on Manchester City news. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe to the channel to not miss any news or updates about Manchester City. Turn on the notification bell to stay informed. Until next time.